These reviews are just my opinions based off of the sleds I've ridden in the past and my ownership experiences over the years. Your opinion may differ, but I hope you can still find value in the videos, and I appreciate you watching.
So this is a 2020.5 XRS. It's got the new suspension, but it's got the old Pilot 5.7 ski. It's got the older but still updated gauge as of last year. Really cool matte color combo. I've decided I don't really like the I don't know, bronze color, I think you'd call it. As much in person, it looks much more bronze. I thought it was like kind of a gray almost, but to each their own, you know. I think as long as you know what you're getting into, it's still a good color. It's just different than I expected to see in person. Man, these are cool. There goes our typical G4, typical 850. I wish I could have got on a 2021 600 because that would be like a combination of both, but no big deal. Gauge is pretty decent, you know. I wouldn't expect a lot more. I mean, for me, these gauges are like really all I need. I don't use like GPS and stuff too often. I know my riding area really well, but obviously if you like to explore and whatnot, a GPS is an awesome feature to have. And I think, you know, obviously next year, pretty much no matter anything I get, I'm gonna try to get the GPS gauge just to try it and whatnot. Storage up top. You can definitely fit goggles in there. Right on the Polaris, you can't. Hand controls feel okay. Throttle feels kind of small, interestingly. Stiff. Oh yeah, she's stiff. Cool though. I love this color combo. This matte with like the little bit of gloss in it just looks awesome. Curious what I'll get on after this. Hopefully the 600 behind me. That'd be the bee's knees. Love this DES. It's kind of like Cat's, the magnetic. It's just so user friendly. New carbide life. I'm definitely, I think now that I've ridden G4s quite a few times, more used to the ergonomics. It's different when you haven't ridden them, you know. It's quite the change up, but as soon as you get a little bit more time on them, they definitely feel you get more used to them. Try to ride this most of the time sitting, just because I feel like I'll get the best idea of the suspension that way. Stand-up ergonomics feel okay. Well, just a touch slow, but like not bad. Very usable. It's too bad I didn't get to try it with the new ski. It feels pretty good with this ski though. Like a little grabby, but that back there, but that was kind of like pavement and snow. This is more, you know, actual snow, and I feel a little touch of push on turn in, but then like it just feels comfortable. It doesn't feel twitchy, and it doesn't feel like out of control either. So wow, it feels pretty good over these little stutter bumps. Front feels a twinge stiff, but he was saying they have them kind of set up in like the 75th percentile kind of area, like made to make the bigger guys feel comfortable. So, you know, if you're in the middle or a little bit smaller, they're going to feel a twinge stiff. The 850 etec power is just so linear. It's crazy. Brake feels very tight. Kind of surprised by that. Look at how long the snow flap on the backcountry is. Not a lot of dead travel on the brake, you know, you're just, as soon as you hit it, it's slowing down. Not a lot of travel overall either, like you're kind of almost locked up pretty quickly in the top of the travel. And the skid feels really good. The front end feels a little bit stiff, but the skid feels really good. Cool sound on the etecs. They're very like throaty. The 850 Patriot almost sounds like it's like gargling at slow speeds. This just sounds throaty. There's that mid-range. Man, good mid-range, really good. The Patriot, the power's a little higher up, you know, and this, you're kind of at trail speeds, you're right there with the mid-range power. With the Patriot, you kind of have to be a little more towards the top end. So for this type of riding, this feels just spot on. Like I said, little push right off initial turn in, but it doesn't feel. I lack no confidence because of it. I just feel like, you know, it makes it a little less twitchy, and then as soon as you get going, it's just boom. I mean, it hooks. It just turns right in. Little slide out of the rear, and it just like the front end still stays planted. I cannot comment enough. If the front is equally set up like the back feels incredible for what type of weight they set it up for. If it's set up for heavy guys, I mean, it's just soaking up this garbage. You want this one?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like it?
Yeah, power felt good. I have an 850 Patriot, and this feels like it's the most powerful, like right where you want it, whereas the Patriot's a little higher up. Yeah, but it feels good.
Front end.
I felt like the front was a twinge stiff, but the rear felt really good. Yeah.
You feel the difference in like you get like inside ski lift.
Yeah.
On this.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, it did. The steering felt great. Like a little push on initial turn in, but then it just hooks. Yeah. No, I'm good. I want to ride this. Yep. Yep. What? Yeah, I'm good. So older gauge, my first time on the 600R etec on camera at least. 1,200 miles, so this is definitely fully broken in. Heated shield cord, all that. Still got the newer gauge. Handlebar controls are the same. It does have the moving throttle, which is interesting. Kind of like the 4-strokes. I didn't know the 2-strokes did. I thought that was a 4-stroke thing. I guess I didn't realize the XRS has a different seat than this sled. this feels heavy on the skis. It has that twitchiness that Ski-doo's always had. It doesn't, wow. I mean, I'm having a moment of like, wow, the XRS did not do this. It was just a little push on initial turn and then goes exactly where you want it to go. This feels like it's sitting heavy on the front skis. Power feels lacking down low, to be totally honest. You know, it doesn't have that torque, but at around, I would say, the mid 5500 range, you know, it feels like it pulls pretty good. I don't like these brake levers on either of these sleds, to be totally honest with you. The pull is just, it's too short. You know, you feel like you're either just slamming them or not pulling them enough. I don't feel necessarily worse in the rear, but the older sleds are so focused on the front end that it just feels like, it feels bad, you know what I mean? It just feels like it's overemphasizing the use of the front suspension. It feels like it's pushing the skis too too hard into the snow, making it feel a little twitchy. I feel like I'm just not even using the rear suspension, whereas on the RAS X sled, I really felt like I was taking advantage of the front and the rear. You know, almost not even using the front as much. I felt like I could just rely on the rear to keep the ride comfortable, and the front was just kind of doing its thing. The main thing on this sled, I would say, is the power. You know, I think it's just an X. Might be a TNT, I gotta check when I'm done, but the seat does feel pretty soft. I don't really like seats that are this soft. I would prefer like what that sled had, the XRS. That type of seat I think is a little bit more conducive to even sitting and standing, you know. This is good for cruising, but for like extended bumpy trail rides, you feel like you're moving around way too much. Temperature runs nice and low though for a 600, you know, nothing too crazy. I would say that the 850 and the 600R feel strong in the mid-range. The 850 feels like any 800 in the low end. You know, it feels okay. Nothing to write home about, but super strong in the mid-range and the top end. This almost feels lacking a little bit in the bottom end, but you know, once you get to like $5 grand RPM wise, it pulls nicely. It feels really good. You know, I feel like I could really maintain speed well, have the power there when I slow down a little bit, get right going again, and just carry speed very well throughout like a twisty section. But you know, from a dead stop, all of the get up and go the 800s have, you're just not gonna have it on a 6, at least for now. My biggest takeaway is I do not like the brake levers on these. Weird. I never thought I would really think anything of that. Yeah, it just feels very heavy on like slow turn in and everything. Such a low idle on these. Yeah, that was an X. What you think, man? Yeah?
Renegade was the best sled I've ever ridden.
Really?
On my taste.
Yeah.
Like in what I was thinking.
You looked like you were loving it.
The Renegade
Yeah.
one too. I didn't like that with backcountry.
Yeah, it's got that narrow front end. It's, yeah.
I just kind of like that you were able to just really like, as soon as I like weighed to more, because I'm like a lighter guy, that I've noticed like on some of the bigger sleds, I felt more like able to like lean into like the sled more.
Yeah, there you go.
Backcountry versus Renegade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You felt like you were riding the sled rather than the sled kind of riding you. I could see that.
Sleds, like, I mean, I can lean as much as I want, but like, the sled goes more than I do.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's just like, obviously some of the other ones, but
Yeah.
I thought it felt good.
Nice.
But the Renegade is also like,
I loved, honestly, the Renegade was amazing. I went from the newer front suspension to the older, and dude, the guy's like, it's gonna feel a lot different. I'm like, it probably won't feel that different. It feels so ski heavy on the old sled, whereas the new sled, it feels like it pushes just for a second when you first turn in, then it just bites and goes. The other one is so twitchy.
That's weird. Which one had the new and old?
The yellow had the old, the black had the new.
Okay, and then the I had the new.
We had the same ones, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
what did the backcountry have?
The backcountry has the old, so that's probably part of why you didn't like it too.
Well, like, so my thing with the backcountry, if I'm not pushing it, it feels almost the same as the Renegade. But as soon as I start to take those turns hard,
Yeah.
backcountry, I just have to pull back.
You gotta plan for it more, yeah.
Even I was full over, and
Yeah.
it was pulling me up, and I was like, that's weird.
Also, I mean, like I did, it was like the first time I like, really tried to feel the difference between the 600 and the 800. You can feel a difference.
Oh, was that a 6?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah. I didn't even realize.
The other group has backcountry X with the 850.
Yeah.
So,
That's fun then.
Yeah.
I like both those sleds. Like if I see either of those sleds, now I'm like, alright.
Yeah.